Everything, Everywhere, All at Once had me in tears. Just bawling my eyes out. Because this is a movie with plugs, I'm not going to say the other word, and I was still crying. So Evelyn was just your normal wife, mother, woman, and she was pretty much just trying to get by, and we could see she was in a rough spot mentally, financially, all of this. She's getting audited by the IRS, and then she has to go on this multiverse mission to stop a great evil from destroying the universe. And this great evil is actually her daughter in another universe, where she was pretty much turned into a multiverse monster that is trying to suck everything into a black hole that she just pretty much created out of pure chaos. And she says nothing matters, and now Evelyn must go on this mission to take her down. That was a lot to take in, and this movie does so much at the same time, feeling so simple, so grounded, and just hitting your soul so right. So pretty much we see her go on this multiverse mission with her multiverse husband as well, and also multiverse father, and a lot of shit just happens. She pretty much is fighting her tax auditor. She's also fighting security guards and just everybody at a certain point when she doesn't want to actually kill her daughter's multiverse self, because she doesn't feel that's the right way to do this. And so everybody's against her at this point. She wants to save her, and the only way to save her is through healing, which is a big thing about this movie and definitely something that we have to talk about. So towards the end of it, she realizes that she's not going to win with violence, with fighting and all of this, and she eventually listens to what her husband has been doing all this time, and that's fighting with kindness, which very much so is one of the parts that really got to me, that whole speech he gave as well. We know this was a man who also was trying to find the beauty, to try and find a happiness that wasn't there. They almost got a divorce as well because of this. But I think by this point in the movie, they start to realize that their happiness had always been there, but they had been putting so many thoughts and effort into other things that weren't that important, things that would be resolved, the simple things, how we say we put so much emphasis on so many other things that we forget what's simply there, which is love, relationships, and all of that. And I really enjoyed that movie brought that to light. So she eventually is able to get to the daughter, who we call Jobu here. The daughter's name is Joy, and pretty much Jobu is the representation of everything that happens when somebody's pushed to the edge. As her universe, in that universe, Joy, the other Evelyn in that universe, her mother pushed her so much that it pretty much just fractured her mind, and she started to create something to try and fill that void, try and fill all of that, and she put it into an everything bagel, which I think represents just that depression and just that whole chaos energy of trying to find happiness and not really finding it anywhere you go. And the reason is because you don't have that inner peace in you, that healing trauma, and you're just filled with all of this anxiety and sort of existential crisis, if you will, as well. I think that was a big thing with this movie. And so she was trying to take everything with her in there, but she also wanted to take this Evelyn, our Evelyn, because she also was able to master the multiverse as well by taking different multiverse Evelyns and using their skills when she was fighting. This is something that Job was able to do as well. And so that was something that made her realize that this is the Evelyn she wants to take with her into this black hole. So after healing the trauma between her father and Evelyn, and also Evelyn and her husband, the next one to heal is the one with the daughter, because Evelyn as well hasn't been so supportive of her daughter in this universe that we see her, where she pretty much has been putting aside her feelings as well as trying to hide the fact that her daughter is gay from her father, because he's sort of like a traditional older man, and she's pretty much just worried about what he'll think and all of that, and doesn't want to deal with it, even though it's something really important to her daughter Joy. But by the end of it, she realizes all of this and just how stupid it is to keep fighting. And she does take some of the words that Joy told her about that nothing matters, but that pretty much means that the things that we think are so important and all that don't really matter, when it's the things that are right in our faces, like our family, the love we have for our spouses, our relationships, our friends, and all of that, that really make life meaningful. And even though Joy at a point says that why does anything matter if we're just here for a brief time, she just says that she's going to still cherish all of those moments, whether we're in a speck of time or not. And I thought that was so powerful to say. So by the end of it, Evelyn is very much so in tune with what she has around her and just appreciating every moment and loving life for what it is, because it is what it is, and that is an opportunity to feel love and to very much so have these relationships with people as well. And just beautiful film all over, right? So very much so by the end, the multiverse is saved after she is able to have a heart-to-heart with her daughter. And I feel like this wasn't even in any explain. It was just me like giving you a heart-to-heart about what I felt about this film, but that's how it is, right? So I did have some other points I wanted to talk about this film. I think empathy and kindness are a major thing to talk about here that this film's trying to say, is showing that to the people we love as well as everybody around us. And I think also like the bagel having so many things in our society today with social media and everything, we see that there is a ton of stuff happening in the world. It can make one feel that there is no hope out there, but the hope we find is with each other, with our relationships with our families and anybody close to us. Even though everything else around us could look like it's a bleak and meaningless, it really isn't that. It's just we have so much information being spread to us at one time. It can feel overwhelming, but it's not, as long as we have each other and have love in our hearts. And like I said, Jobu tried to sort of figure out everything and the meaning and all of that, and she was completely missing it when she was being very much so trying everything all at once and having that everything bagel just be a symbolism of all the things that she was trying to find as well, and putting it all into something eventually gave her nothing, because she didn't ever have the inner peace within her, as I said, to try and have that happiness until she actually had the heart-to-heart with her mother. And I think starting those conversations is the most important thing one can do, and materialistic things and all of that can fill that void for a certain period of time, but over time that doesn't really like heal anything. And I think it's that human connection that does. So I think that was such a big thing about it. And maybe I'm off the mark completely, but that's my interpretation. Let me know yours down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. On the road to 21,000 subscribers, less than 500 away, I believe. Hopefully by the time we are. But anyways, check out my videos on Atlanta if you haven't already. I covered episode 1 through 4. Definitely all the videos should be up by now. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe. Stay positive.